Yo, bad man a bad man, fool is a fool. Gangsters not take sorry nor just cool. Disrespect the family, you broke the first rule. Make we pop off my. You know this is Bay C from the T.O.K family, is it? And you're in tune to Odessa, Reasonings with Odessa, right here. Tune in, lock in, spread the word. Good reasoning, good vibes, sit back and observe. Yo!
Alright guys, I'm so happy. This is my first Reasonings with me, Odessa, and it's visual. I've been like, Lord, everybody's just been bugging me. Odessa, when is it going visual? When is it going visual? We are visual now. And I wanted to come full circle because the first audio podcast I ever did was with my homeboy, with my brethren, my brother, Craigy T. And I thought, you know what? Let's just bring it full circle even more and invite Basie of T.O.K, his brethren, his brother, his partner. And so here we are. Wow. Not partner like that. Oh God, you Jamaicans, man. It could be business partners.
Yeah,
you're still business partners then?
Of course, we are business partners.
Bloody hell, you Jamaicans, man, I swear.
Yeah, man.
I swear.
To be like.
So we are sipping on, our sipping sponsor today is Bottega.
Yo.
Bottega, big up Zach Jones, big up Bottega Jamaica.
Zach Jones.
Thank you. And it's gold and it tastes amazing. So
yeah, big up Zach.
So guys, COVID and all those things.
Yeah.
How you guys coping?
Not coping. I mean, cool still. Some things change, some things don't change. What it has though, it has given me a lot more appreciation for interaction with people. As much as I used to say, boy, I don't really like people, I don't like crowd, I don't like mix up.
I still don't like people.
But I tell exactly. So it's like it made me know that I kind of feel a little bit off that interaction with people. So every now and then I remember how much I really appreciate interacting with people one on one. And so the fact that it has been taken away to an extent, it made me miss it a little bit more and appreciate it a lot more. So.
But hasn't it given you guys both family time? Like you said, you were just speaking to your son.
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, my life set up a little different where I'm already socially distant.
Yeah, because you live up in the bush.
I live way up in the mountains. You know what I mean?
Side of God.
Yeah, side of God.
Yeah.
And to be honest, that it coming like now is moments when I really appreciate that decision to move up there because I already in away from certain things and just in my own space. My family, I have family. My family is a global family, so I've always been in one way or another communicating through, virtual, whether it's WhatsApp or whatever. So that is where it is now. I'm kind of in the mountains by myself. I'm some of my family in Germany and family all over the place, but.
But you have a British passport like me. I always used to tease you that you were deported. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Back in the day, I'm like, Bridget, you're deported. The man who have his passport is like, no.
No. I mean, it worked out for me in the sense of like when I was doing more of the solar stuff, I could move around and kind of base myself in Berlin too. But at the same time, it's good to be in Jamaica. You spend 99% of your life in Jamaica, so it's like this is home and this is where, at the end of the day, I feel is even a safer place to be than some of these big cities too. You know what I mean?
I feel that too. Don't you find when you wake up in the morning, if you don't turn on the TV or look at your phone, you don't feel that there's a pandemic happening?
Right. Yeah, man, definitely. Right. I think that's a blessing though. It's for those who are able to wake up and not see this pandemic that's happening right in front of them faces. You should definitely give thanks and count your blessings and stay as safe as possible and try your best to keep it that way, because there are people waking up that are faced with it day in, day out, every single day. People on the front lines, doctors, nurses, delivery people in the food industry, distribution people like travelers and stuff like that. When I say travelers, I mean like truck drivers, things like that. There are people that are transportation. There are people that are faced with this thing daily. So them seeing it and them seeing what's happening to people. So just give thanks that you're not one of those. You know what I mean? And just go on do what you have to do for stay safe.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So
I mean, The thing about COVID, like anything, there's going to be pros and cons of any crisis, So there's opportunities. I believe that if people are, if people dare to be transformative, you will find opportunities. Like, for instance, the whole schooling system going digital right now. That's a big opportunity, for us to at least involve that more moving post-COVID. I know, say, for people who in the diaspora can have Jamaican education, Jamaican schooling, or at least a component of it through the virtual setting. Even within music, I'm busy a reason a while ago, I said to busy, say, say it have the pros and the cons, because the concert them get locked off.
Yeah.
But at the same time, way more people told me your streaming numbers going to go up. Because people going to consume music
or
more
you can
through
do
digital.
it like Erykah Badu is doing her shows, and she's making people pay $1 per stream per person. So there's other ways of revenue that you can make and earn as an artist. I mean, what advice do you have to give to other artists out there who just feel like there's no hope right now? Like, what am I going to do? Because some of them are like, not all of them are creatively or thinking to be extra creative. They're just thinking, why am I just stuck?
I think now is the time for leaders. So if you're an artist who didn't know what you do and a set thing and was on the hustle, you will find opportunities now. So if you was a man who just, if you hear it says weed song around the place, say you're right, a million weed song and you're just following the trend, you're going to get lost. You're probably going to do a bag of live IG now, because that's what the trend is now. And you're not really finding how you can take advantage of the opportunities around you. That's how I feel.
Yeah. If you're an artist that believe that there's no hope, you're right. If you're an artist that believe that there is hope, you're right too. I mean, everything you believe can and believe cure, So, if once upon a time when we did younger, we used to have time for ways for try to preach to people who I know won't get it. Like, if you want to sit down and believe that there is absolutely no hope, then you not pay attention. And maybe it's not the business for you, because you have to strong to do this thing. So better me tell you from early.
Right.
So you can save your energy. If you believe that there's no hope, you're right. Stop it.
Right.
Stop now.
But I mean, I guess there are some people who just need that reinforcement. I mean, that's what we as people who like us as artists like T.O.K and Craig and myself, we have achieved a lot, and people look at us with certain respect. So it's important for us to not tell them there's no hope.
Me not telling there's no hope. Let me get it straight.
Get it straight.
Let's be a little social distancing. Sorry,
No spray my foot down. No spray my foot down. Spray my hand.
Alright, so as all this thing you really go. I mean, we're making light of it, but it's a serious thing. You really do have to sanitize every time, you make a misstep. But as far as the hope thing is concerned, I mean, at the end of the day, what this has taught me even more now, because it's a thing that I study and pay attention to, is that the things are clearer when you search within instead of without. So when things happen to force you to do introspection and force you to delve within self, you learn a lot more about how you work, and the more you learn about how you work is the more you understand how things in general work. So there is never ever a situation where you are without hope. No matter what you think, it is false. You have to get out of that. There are times, however, when you will be down, and there are times where you will face, I don't like to use the word challenges nowadays, because the challenges are online. But there are times when you will be faced with challenges, and you have to go through those times. I'm not here to tell you that the road is going to be all peachy keen for the rest of your life. It now go gossip.
No, it's going to be but this is the new normal now.
Yeah, man. There are going to be times where things are going to be rough and things are going to be challenging. In those times, you have to find your strength and go through them. But you have to make it run its course.
Yeah, man. But there's a panic thing that you need to stay far from. I think that's one of the main things. So you just mentioned, if you're not sitting down and, just hovering over the pandemic and every bad thing that's happening, you will realize that there's a lot of other things that's happening. The whole world didn't stop spinning. Pandemic is just a part of the world now.
But we still have dengue.
Yeah, you still have a lot of other things.
There's other things we still need to worry about, or focus on
Right.
than just this pandemic. We just need to take these
But
precautions.
it's just a drastic. I can understand it's a drastic change.
Yeah.
We've never seen anything like
Just
this in
like
our
the Holy
lifetime.
Portmore people them know that are coming into.
Boy,
Portmore,
Portmore small enough. The whole of St. Catherine.
The whole like they.
Yeah, so
Portmore, my place, and you know, as my son made the move, go up in the mountains, and I can imagine. But the thing is, for me, it really comes down to an individual and how your life setting up. Because me used to live at Hellshire before. And
Heights.
if Hellshire Heights, yeah. And if you lock me up in a Hellshire Heights right now, I was always locked up in my house.
Yes,
anyway.
you were.
I never come out of my house. And when I come out, I go in my car and drive. Go out, I go to the beach. I never really, you know what I mean? As I become a man, obviously as a youth, you're up and down. But you know what I mean? I'm a home person, and I believe in having a home studio and having everything that you need at the yard. And you go out when you. Some people can't stay at them yard. You know? Some people can't stay at them yard.
I don't understand that.
Them have to go when them don't even have. You feel a voice to stay yard, and you can't do it. You have to go road. Those people are the people who suffer now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But for me, Andrew said 3 o'clock, 8 o'clock. It don't really make a difference to
When
me.
Andrew said 9 o'clock, I'm like, I've been home for 6.
Yeah.
You close the shit now. It's fine. It's fine.
It's good.
So let's go into T.O.K. because remember, some of our viewers, majority of you guys should be familiar with who T.O.K. is. T.O.K. you guys are icons in dancehall, in reggae and dancehall. And are you guys still a group or are you not a group?
we're a cult, you know. this morning, my wife looked for me and she said, "Hey, that not come off for you in favor, you know." I said, "I don't want to come off." It's a T.O.K. tattoo, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she said,
you both have it?
She said, all on of that. I said, yeah. She said, fucking cut. I'm not gonna laugh. I said, I guess like it was kind of cultish back in the days. But I mean,
it's a brotherhood still.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's a brothership.
Friendship.
A brothership.
Yeah, it's a brothership. Yeah. So, I mean,
again. So guys, I can't say hood. What else you can say? I can say hood, and you can't say hood, and I can't say partner.
You can't say the
I can't agree with you.
Yeah. You can't say to you. You can't say to you. No, but for real though, like it will forever be a part of us. You know what I mean? It's a part of our history that we don't even want to deny. And it made us who we are.
Yeah.
So is
my camera guy and editor and everybody and director right now, he is like, oh, I'm so upset that the last T.O.K. album is not going to be released. It's in the vault somewhere. Will you guys ever put this out?
what if I have tunes in our voice?
Yeah, man,
a few albums.
We have a few diamonds in the rough right there, but I think timing is of the essence. Mm-hmm. I personally feel like this has been a blessing for T.O.K. You find that when most times artists only get the recognition when they pass away. Mm-hmm. And that's when people say, oh, when they look at the whole body of work and say, wow, we have the blessing of, knock on
board.
Not hood.
Oh, Jesus. Let me just say.
We have the blessing of people seeing us almost like we're no longer, even though we're here. And so they get to express that love. So you find that when we do reunion concerts every now and again, when you see a T.O.K. on a flyer, it's sold out in no time. People turn out because they don't know when next they're going to see that. If we pop up anywhere in a studio for a dub plate session, you can feel the love from the people. Even at the time when we were going our separate ways, there were the outcry from people who my peers in the music, some top man when we just feel like them man that wouldn't even business that, them man that come and say, yo, music needed and can't do this radio. Mm-hmm. So it made me realize, wow, there's a love, and you normally wouldn't get that love until after you pass.
I don't think like you guys, there was an era, there was T.O.K, there was Lost, who else? There was other groups that were around. Then there are no more groups. There were groups in the 90s. Have you noticed that there's no more groups?
That whole group vibe change. I mean, it's a different time, And even for me, that was part of the whole journey too. Because, I mean, when you're in a group, you, especially the way we came out as like from school days, like a friend that turned group that became popular.
Let's go into that. How did that start? Like, how did you guys...
How much time you have?
Let's sum it into like 2 minutes. of T.O.K.
Craig.
What? All right.
Yeah.
I mean, it really flex on Alex and at first they had a group together.
Right.
They used to sing together at the fets and stuff, and there was a competition that came up in Jamaica one time, and there was a song that they wanted to do on the competition, and they felt that it was better if the song had more than one voices, because the original to the song, more than one voices sang the lead. So because they knew Rashan and I from choir, well, Alex knew Rashan and I were in
Nice
the
church
same
boys.
choir.
Look at you.
Not in church choir, school choir.
Oh, school.
Yeah, Campion choir. Yeah,
The
so,
other cult.
yeah. Yeah, it's one of
Big
those
up the
things.
Campion,
We're
that's
around
it.
the place. Remember.
Silent.
So yeah,
rulers.
because of that, you know, they approached us to do the thing. And we were like, oh yeah, cool. And we rehearsed the day of the audition for the competition. So that was the first rehearsal, the first performance happened on the same day. It was cool.
And then from there, we just basically realized we had something special, you know, because when we performed, place them, but this is the first way I get forward, and the first way I that whole experience.
Yeah, and as a little fat youth at school, yeah, I used to get some attention from the girl I never used
Craigy,
to get
you
before.
told me on the first podcast that that's why you started
Why you talk
started a
about my
business again.
as a youth, you know, I don't know how much people are watching things like that, but can I speak freely?
Yeah, of
Yes.
course. Yeah, I think
As a-
Why don't we have some
As a youth, you know, when you
do a
reach
little top up here?
yeah, man, talk me up.
in a high school, so that I like fourth farm, them time, so hormones are run. So all you think about it, and boy, I don't even know if you think about pum pum so much as just a touch. You just want something. You just want the promise of pum. so it's like because of that, no, because
You
the
wanted
singing.
possibilities.
I like that. So because of that, no, at the time it used to get the attention, and as I said, me them time me what 312, 320 pounds.
Wow.
Like them time there's like, you know, if the singing thing you're working, they'll work with it. Like something is happening, so we are running with it. So that was the real reason.
Yeah. I mean, Craig, right? That was a journey. It started at that competition, and then I mean after that we're at school. So for me it was kind of like. So Campion is an interesting school, you know what I mean? Campion is a school that they have an elitist side of it, and they have people who get there from humble beginnings, but because of them intelligence. You know?
Which was what you
I would
you
say
guys are elite
I would say we're
I think you're on the border.
no. For me,
You're not dirt poor. You never come from
not
no
poor, but
dirt
I'm talking
poor.
about poor. I'm just saying that in a circle. Like when I start Campion, I never had everybody around me talk about satellite dish. I never have a satellite dish. I never have a video. You know what I mean? So it's like certain things that my friends are talking about, I just can't relate to it.
Right.
It's not about elite meaning I'm better than you, just a socio-economic setting. You know what I mean? So I'm saying when we started the choir, for me it was a little group within the school that me feel like it was our little thing, our music thing. And then when we started to sing and we get attention and we start going around other schools and I mash up schools, it's like, yo, we have something really, really powerful here. Jerry D was a past Campionite. And he
was in the same year as my brother Aaron. Big up Aaron, yeah.
So at the time when we knew him, he was coming back and doing like rugby and some other things.
Yeah.
And then eventually when we left Campion, a little older now, he was doing the Friday night radio and also the Friday night at Cactus. He was there. So what happened is that we know by this time now we had to do some little club, some little things about the place.
Yeah.
And we say, oh, I'll go down at Cactus. And we got Cactus the first time and them let me on and we sing some song and mash up the place. So that's how I think that's how we got introduced to the music industry, the dancehall side of it. And there's a whole heap of journey, you know, forget a manager, somebody saw us at Cactus and say, yo, I want to manage you. We're like, yo, we have no need a manager. You know, them time that Stephen Greg link with. After that, him start get us into some like cabaret thing. Him start say, I can see making some money and all. But when we go cabaret, because we have some this Cactus side of us, we were told like music is a little too black for the tourists. Straight up.
So what does T.O.K stand for Tugs of Kingston?
No, when you met us, it was Tugs of Kingston, but it was Touch of Class.
Because when I used to look at them, I'm like, which part of them is Tugs?
I remember specifically Odessa saying to me, "You lot are not Tugs.
Yeah, like Tugs of Kingston.
You said you're edgy. But you're not thugs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, we're thugs in the music. What's wrong with you?
She should have given her that thing, man.
I don't know those thugs, man. No tuggy part.
I remember that. Well, that's because we enter, by that time, that's way down in the future. Now we enter the dancehall space and we're trying to, edge up our acronym, you know what I mean? And it has, where it is now is Tribe of Kings. I think that's the best place to be because each of us is a king.
Right.
Within
in
that.
your own rights. Yeah,
within that. So, it's a full circle, man. I could have got through, that's why I asked you how much time, because that's before we even start record. Stephen Greg is the one who carries the studio and that,
Yeah, interesting little joke about Campion and the elitist thing and show. It's like a time capsule joke. So when I just go Campion, I like the first couple of days, I did a go it. Because like me I say, I remember my girl named youth and I'm like, who are these people? When I hear them talk, I'm like, everybody sound like some foreigner.
Yeah, man.
I say, who are them people, man? Like me in a class, I'm going to see some white people. What I say, I never really used to. Every year I see them every now and then, but like, I never really used to it like that. And then remember, my link up with a couple of brethren, because I make friends quickly. I link up with a couple of brethren, and like they was talking about Nintendo. And they must say, I have my Nintendo when I do this and I do this, and all I want to do is go home and play that. I'm used to say, yeah. No, at them time that I don't have a clue what I am Nintendo, no clue. So in my head now, I'm say, mama, just I say, yeah. When I reach out, I look it up. Yeah. When me say look up them time, then
it's not
the
Google.
Encyclopedia, me I got to. So when me go into the encyclopedia, I want to search for Nintendo. First of all, I don't know how to spell it.
Yeah.
I have a clue, so I try to work it out now, and I'm like, I look for
And
Nintendo in the encyclopedia. Britannia kind of big book of flip through. I look for Nintendo. Can't find a Nintendo. I say, man, I stop getting all this together. Man, just come straight out and tell them. I'll tell them like them look for me like an alien. Like I say, so what? You have an Atari though? I say, what? Them tell them I don't know nothing about it. Me never have a clue. So you could have used control and move things on a script. Them tell me still I got some ish.
I'm fishing back to now like. I'm actually
fine-tuning.
I'm actually well, not even me. My brothers are privileged brothers because they had their Nintendo, they had their Atari. We used to carry that to country.
No clues. I know one of your brothers, from
which
Vaz.
One? You don't have to say which one, because there's a tribe of Jimmy
from Vaz. Saeed.
Saeed, big up.
Yeah, big up Saeed.
AKA Sky.
So me and my Archie are good friend, man.
Yeah, man. Archie. Oh man, you're bringing it back now, man. You're bringing it back.
Yeah.
So Tugs of Kingston moved to Tribes. What?
Tribe of Kings.
Tribe of
Class, the Tugs of Kingston. There was a taking over Cosmos segment.
What's wrong with you?
There was a time them up, overproof them and kill them.
Yeah, that was a small,
very short
time.
Short-lived.
But we kind of settled on Tribe of Kings by the fourth album.
Wow. Listen, there was something Craigy and we spoke about, studio, and how artists today, who are more the digital side, they don't know what it's like to just go in and run a dub.
Right.
They don't understand the technique.
Right. They don't have that skill set. Yeah.
When we were doing dub, we were cutting dubs. When I was cutting dubs with Salam for the Clash. And I saw how seamless Terra Fabulous just came in. And just started to spit. And Spragga just started to spit. And Beanie and
man.
It was just seamless for that generation, for that era.
Right.
And now, why is it? What's the reason why this era takes so long that they can't just go in? Explain it to them.
I want to explain something before that though. With T.O.K is blessed with being from that time and having that skill set. But do understand that is 4 people being in sync at the same time. So there was a time when we got Arrow's studio and learned amongst the greatest them, like Elephant them did that kill it them time, the killer them, Capleton them man when them man the dub, them man the name one
Capleton is
them man the name one tech. Watch your wife for the tech, but I one tech them man the name, is it me? And we learned that. Is it me? By time fast forward maybe 4 years later we get Eagles Cry and then we have to start the dub now. Them time over here, so we have to have a cell phone, people need to call you. And we go in and shot that 4 in sync, like lock in, is it me? Yeah, so there's no excuse.
Because of the tape, right? Was that because it was on tape?
Yeah, because it's going straight to wax.
Right, it was straight to acetone, straight to the dub plate, straight to plate. So while you're recording,
it's going straight
cutting on the record.
So you can't afford to. And if you make no mistake, that is a cost in the middle. So you can't afford to make no mistake.
And then time that bad man run sound. So when them man they stand up outside of the booth, because the booth is just really a box, you know, with some plexiglass on the outside. So the man see straight in, you see straight over. When them man they stand up outside of the booth with them face wrench up.
Yeah, man.
And it a run. You don't make no mistake.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so that the skill set. But I think the youth them now, in all fairness to them, as an artist who has got the best that experience of that world, saw when it transitioned to digital. Jeremy Harding, big up first real computer studio we got.
That's right.
Jeremy same Jerry D carried us there first time.
Because they're all Campion boys.
Yeah. And then, you know, he was running him thing as the only computer studio for a very long time.
Yeah.
Then in comes Pro Tools. Some people were reluctant to move with Pro Tools.
Who Jeremy learned from? The Great Gadget, but we'll go into that a little later.
So when we went into this digital space, it really increased the productivity level. Like you could have make songs like that. First time before, you know, remember Richie Stevens that tell us, say, yo, you have the rhythm, the winner. I was born, I was born as a winner, wicked and wild, and Vegas have everywhere I go, and we have looked forward, and so I say, yo, give me a run on the rhythm. I say, I have 2 tracks. This is 20. When you hear about 24 tracks, it means that you have 24 tracks, and only 2 of them have left. Because when you have the rhythm take up like 8 or 9 of the track, each artist will get one. So when a man have 124 track cut of the rhythm, and probably put 7 artists on it, and that's 8 or 10 artists. We the 4 we get 2 track.
One of them track there's a sympathy track to keep the timing.
Right,
that's what it is to keep timing.
Yeah,
so they just have the frequency them around for 1 track. So
Yeah.
So that's why I use the sound for the track. So you really only have one track and them really want to delete the synthetization.
Yeah, because that's how things lock up. So, I mean, we're coming from you know, really fighting to make it happen. What happened with the youth them now, you know, is in this digital space it's a benefit for them and for me as well making music now is that you have the liberty to get so creative, all these plugins and all this digital. You can cut and paste and do this and you can do so much more in that sense, but it takes away from certain skill set that you would have learned then. You know what I mean?
And also something that's just pure.
Yeah.
Well, I
pure
believe
off the top of your head.
I think you can still make it pure in the digital space, but it really comes down to you as an artist, you know, because I mean, even with Pro Tools, you can still do a one take. You don't have to still do take. You don't have to do 1 million background
vocals.
So it
goes down to one take artists.
Yeah, it comes down to what your vibe, but what works for you too. You have to know what works for you. Some people it's better to pretty it up and get it right. And for some people it's just like anything extra is distracting. Just give me one track.
I found too that it depends on the song too and the mood you're trying to get out. There are songs that I will opt to use auto-tune, but there are songs that I don't want to use it at all. But some songs just have a different sound, a different feel when you use it. So, you know, it has the vibes.
Right.
So we use it as a tool.
And then some people voice fit certain things more. Like I know when in the whole T.O.K sphere, Alex voice has fit auto-tune. Like perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
he is like the original kind of auto-tune.
TP and them running at them on the style, you know.
TP and Terpa.
When we there on show, them time TP and signed to Akon. And I will link up with Akon and TP in the backstage. And I see when Alex walk in, I see TP and go so.
Yep.
Like the man say, yo.
The man building whole style up. The man start doing lots, the man start roll up. Them time the TP used to run up and down that cap, run up and down and eat out with food out of backstage. Eat out with food backstage. And like, big up his TP. The bomb clot if you stop eating people food. No, alright, we did it. See, I joke.
So you got TP, we still want that song with brother. Big up his I joke. Cool, man. Cool.
So we did it and like, him come around and like, see him look at Alex and he's like, yo, that thing you do, you know him accent, that thing you do. That's fire. And like the next month, we're out in 100 songs.
Yeah, because Little John, with that part, Little John and Little John start producing. Yeah, man, I one circle, man, but people wouldn't understand the influence we have as Jamaican artists and the hip hop space. So definitely, T-Pain was one of them. And
I think guys were like the first BET on BET.
First on 106 and Park. First on 106 and Park. First dancehall artist on 106 and Park. First artist to go in the top 5 at 106 and Park independent. You know, went to 4 with Footprints.
So many stuff.
New York Times call us the greatest reggae band of all times, dancehall rude boy band of all times.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Seriously, I do.
We get some blessings, so we give thanks,
Still getting them. I mean,
Yeah. So let's go into like what you guys are doing now, because well, Craigy and I work very close together.
Right.
He's a host of a show that I produce, Daytime Live. So big up to all the TVJ Daytime Live.
Yeah, man, big show. Yeah, man, the people love it.
Craigy brought a whole, I call it more of a manly vibe to the show.
Yeah, we'd have to rough it up. Like still. Like, I don't know. Weird, like TV for me.
Yeah, how did you even get into TV?
It's strange. It's like it's strange. That's why I tell you I have to give thanks. It's like life called me. Basically, I was sitting down at home. I think I had just finished record something for a brethren of mine too. And I got a call from the general manager of TVJ, and she was like, "Yo, how do you feel about going back on TV?" I must say, I don't know. I never think about it. I guess. And she's like, "Well, there's a show that we have, and I think that you'd be a good host for it, and I want you to come check it out." I'm gonna say, yeah, sure. I mean, one thing with me, like new experiences, like my love experiment with them things. So I'm like, yo, all right, cool. Me come check it out. Come check out the show. And it just so happens that that day, I was on the road and I saw it on TV. I think it was in the bank.
Yeah.
And I saw it on TV in the bank, and I was like, yo, so I'm gonna try out that show, yeah, for real. Then I didn't know that was the show. And I said, so I'm gonna check out that show, yeah. No, I was like, I wonder if this is the show she was talking about. And then I went to a screening of it, and I was like, yo, this have a vibe. Let me try it out. But the sweetest thing with TV for me is that I find it as just an extension of self. I don't try to do anything.
I think that's why you connect with the audience.
I just.
Well, that's what I wanted as well as a producer. I wanted, and I made sure every art, because the hosts that were on before, they were told to be certain ways, and I was just like, nah,
that wouldn't work.
Needed to be you.
Yeah.
So Craigy brings more of the sexy vibe. Joel will fight you out for that, but and Duffy too. But the girls.
I think it's a good mix. As a person on the outside looking in, I think I definitely think it's a great show. I think it's a great move for Craig. I think I think people who, when we're artists, we get caught up in, we get locked into what people think of us, and that's really based around our music mainly, and what they see of us, what we expose them to.
But there's a lot more to both of you.
Right,
this is what I wanted to get into.
Yeah,
I know that
for him doing this now, it made people connect with him and understand who Craig is and like his personality.
As a producer, Craig is a producer, you're a producer as well, but you also do other stuff. So let the people know, because you're also in another whole realm as well.
Right, boy, man.
Business.
Yeah, I mean, I try to just push for do as many things as possible, So part of the things that I do outside of music is part of a company called Spatial Innovision. I'm the deputy CEO, but really it's my pop's company. But he's done some great stuff, and the company has done some great stuff in bringing a science called Geographic Information Systems, GIS, to the Caribbean, and basically helping government and private organizations to visualize the data. I mean, this is you can always talk words, but what do we mean by that? I mean, like in the case of COVID-19 now, any map that you can see or dashboard that can share information about, the levels of cases, deaths, geographics in where hotspots are. I think even the Prime Minister yesterday referred to the term geographic information systems in his analysis of St. Catherine. So that science is, for the most part, something that my pops brought to the Caribbean. And the company is a leading company in that space. Because it's my pop's company, I have gotten more involved in it over the years. And now I'm in some form of a leadership space where, adding value. And I won't even want to bring it into the music. So, a few months ago, we were talking about parties locking off and where are the spots that we can have entertainment zones. GIS is a perfect thing to help you literally look at all the factors, the economic, where the markets are, where people are, where the tourists are situated, and put all that into planning out strategic best spots for entertainment
Wow.
zones.
So when you look on all your Facebook and Instagram analytics, you're supposed to see all kinds of
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
You're supposed to see it completely different.
Yeah. So it's those things, and I think it's always more that we as the Caribbean, it's always things that happen in the background that I'm just getting exposed to,
Right.
And you see, like even for instance, with hurricane coming and weather, mapping the impact of disaster on our people. Those things are things that you need to analyze from a geographic standpoint. Our logistics hub that we're doing to be a key person within transatlantic trading. That is managed through geography, telecommunications. If Digital wants to know where all their clients are and how it relates to their towers and manage their towers and manage the fiber optic lines. There's all kinds of space within the geospatial sphere. And it's very interesting to me. So that's what I do outside of music,
Wow.
Be sure you think now for the youths them. Wow, they don't want there for them not to give up hope. The youths them want to feel geography now. They don't give up hope. Me remember this man here in high school. You're bad now, so you're good. There's a bright future.
Geography was one of my favorite subjects.
No, geography is an underlying thing for the entire world. I mean, managing COVID right now is everything you're looking at is where it started from, where it extend to, who was traveling here. All that is location based, and you cannot fight almost anything in this life. You can't find anything in this life that doesn't have
you guys
some location.
launched officially, or are you going to, where can we get
The
information?
company's around for 21 years. As I say, it's my pop's company, so people can check out spatialvision.com, SPATIALVISION, Vision. And yeah, it's a company that's been around for many years, and we try our best to be partners with organizations to help them optimize what they're doing.
Well, Africa, this is going a lot of places in Africa.
Yeah, man,
it's a big place.
some partners in Esri, Ghana, Esri, Nigeria. There's a good friend of mine that run off over there. Our partners in China. It's a global network of GIS, and something that it plays into so many decisions. Satellite imagery and all these things all play into where we are. So, I mean, it's very interesting, and it's something that people who know from the music side wouldn't know. Say that's something else that I do, but it's not something that I load up because my passion is still music, and I still every day making music. Like I would do the work business in the day, and then by the time it reach afternoon, I have to knock out a rhythm or do something. And then there's another thing I do called listening news too.
Yeah.
So that also.
Are you coming back with that?
So what I've done with listening news is listening news to get caught up in the TV politics.
Right.
So and for me as an entrepreneur, it was really not the right business model to be in that space. So what we have done now is done it more as a service for different organizations that want to communicate. So if, for instance, if the World Health Organization might say they want to, or Red Cross, in this case, COVID-19, Red Cross has approached us and said, we'll have this message that we want to get to people of anti-stigma. People who might feel they have the disease, they're really reluctant to call and get checked out because they fear what people around them going to say. We need to take away that stigma. And, through music and through visuals, we can create a unique way of communicating that. So that's where I put listening news now as more of an information and a communication tool.
More than just entertainment.
More than just entertainment, yeah, because it really is edutainment. You know?
And that's exactly what we need to do, especially when we're doing media. It's always about educating and entertaining at the same time. Right. Craig, you have anything else to add?
Yeah, well, I mean, for me,
that's right.
It's really mostly music, I produce my record label. It's called Gaff Jam Records. I want to tell you that there's a song that I want to release, but I'm going to put it up for discussion online. Yeah, man, definitely want some more of that. I'm going to put it up for discussion online whether I should release it now or if I should wait until the end of this thing, but I don't know when the end is going to be. And I think that is very appropriate for now. And Bill Withers just passed away.
Right.
And may his soul rest in peace. He did a song called Lean On Me, and we did a cover version of that. Several male voices in the business: Gramps Morgan, T.O.K, Lost, Voicemail, Tyrus Riley, Dwayne Stevens, Chris Martin, D Major, a whole heap of Dean Fraser, Natel, Cesar, lots of people were involved in the making of that song, and we did it together, and it really kind of put into perspective the whole notion of unity, and together we stand, and through unity we can beat this thing. So I think that now is the perfect time for it. So I've been in talks with some people to put it out the right way.
Right.
No, because it was never released. It was the first song produced by Gaff Jam, and it was never it wasn't released. But I think that now is the perfect time to release it. So I have my record label. I produce a few artists. I write for
a lot,
hundreds
you want to give the people them some,
because like that is the thing. That's it. Like my basic can tell you. Like I can't. My brain can't quiet. Like I'm always thinking, always writing, always creating. Who have you written for? Like. Okay, so I've written for a lot of people who have used it. Now let me see now. Munga, Taros, T.O.K, of course, Shensia,
Killer,
I've
Cabra.
written for Killer, Cabra, Beanie Man, Cardi B. A lot of people that I've written for in the past that have. I don't want to put too much on because them Jamaican people, when they're ready to run down your pocket, them dangerous. So I like writing because so big up Jacob, big
Kelly
up
Price.
Oscar, big up Kelly Price too. Like we keep it's a stream of income that I think that a lot of artists need to pay more attention to.
Right.
And especially times like these, you really realize that the inability to go out and perform these things will added value and added income in your pocket. Car is March now, well it's April now, but April just a start, so it's the beginning of COVID and you can't go anywhere, but it's also the end of a quarter, so now it's a royalties payout time. So it's a nice buffer for what is happening now. So the more people you write for is the more you get you spread your wings and get them out there. So that's another thing I do. I do TV, I host television as well. Which is interesting for me. It's a interesting tool to get your face out there, get your thoughts and your ideas out there for people can see and understand more of who you are.
Let's go back to where there's a discussion. There's a thing that's going on in China, and we really wanted to discuss what was going on in China with them mistreatment of Africans. In China. We had this discussion already on Daytime Live, and they're being kicked out of their homes. They're being it's just disgusting. There's signs saying black people are not allowed in the restaurants and all of that. How do you feel about what's going on? Because there's 10 million people in Chinese people in Africa, and we as Africans, because we are all Africans, no matter where we come from, guys. We as Africans don't treat any other race that way, but we are still the ones that are being discriminated on as anywhere we go in the world today.
I could be biased, right? It's very difficult to self-examine and know whether you're biased or not. But based on what I've seen, I think that generalizing and speaking as looking at races, I think that blacks are the most welcoming race that I see. I think we're very open, and I think that comes from a standpoint of sharing. We're very loving, we're very sharing. So I know personally, once I have some information, I already have it. So if I see somebody that can benefit with it, I'm open with it. Now this is personal, but as a race, I've noticed that about blacks as well. We're quick to use our findings, our inventions, our innovations in order to help the greater good of mankind. But I have noticed where other races they do that as well, but they're a little bit more closed. They involve only their own, or most of their own, I would say. And because of that, you have a withholding of information and a withholding of assets, a withholding of wealth, a withholding of just things in general. And I think that a lot of that is coming back around to bite us. My analysis is that we operate from a standpoint of love, and other races might operate from a standpoint of fear. But that is a lay person's analysis, So I could be very wrong. However, I I know that if I have $100 and the 1, 2, 3, 4 of us in here, hungry, like I'm going to buy something that the 4 of us can eat.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me. But everyone is not like that, and I can't knock them for being like that because people have to think about them own survival. But I am not worried about whether or not I will survive, and I don't think the black race is worried about whether or not they will survive. But it would appear that others are.
Well, I think that's the fundamental of it all. I mean, there's 2 things I would say. One is that this whole concept of race is very short-sighted and trivial, because everybody come from black people. So we're all black. Them just don't know the black part of them DNA. Also, the spread of COVID-19 shows that no matter what color you are, is a humanity challenge we're facing right now as a species. This little thing that you can't see can wipe out a species. You understand? I always tell people that racism will die the minute an alien drop on the planet.
But hey, do you believe the aliens here?
Well, the minute we see an alien on the planet.
They're here.
The minute we see it.
But that's another.
That's a different thing. But what I'm saying is the minute humans turn around and see that, black, white, everybody are going to say, yo, we need to work together to get rid of that.
But why do you think that? Why do you think that they would be
an enemy?
Yeah.
No, but I'm talking about the innate state of humans, as a species. I think we are super. When we reach down to the animal side of us, we are very selfish, a self-surviving kind of species, and that also falls down within the race. Now, I think out of the race timeline, because black came first. Everybody else who fall under is a little younger. You ever see siblings? You ever see the baby who will say mine? The big brother doesn't look like it's all of us, but you can go and feel like it's yours. But this is for all of us. I think that's why the black race is so warm, and because we have been around so much, we understand that this world, just like when you go to Africa, is European come put a border and cause problem in Africa, you know. We was just like, yo, if the cow them want go through Zimbabwe and go end up over Odessa for this time of the year, that's where them go. It don't have nothing to do with which is more tribal, of a little space, but not geographical spaces. So those kind of divides is things that come from a racial, to me, immaturity in the timeline of your consciousness. Black people are older, we're around more, so we have an older level of consciousness, while some of the other races are a little younger. You can't blame them, because probably a lot of them more looking at the short-sightedness. Like if you look at some of the other races.
That still go back to fear, though.
Yes, fear. Like him say, love or fear. But I'm saying at the end of the day, it's dumb, because this thing, COVID, is going across races. It doesn't really matter. And then you have, I see Puffy post something where in America now, the ratio is like 1 in every 10 is black. But in COVID, is 1 in every 2 that is dying. So now we as a black people in the States, have to start to realize that this thing can wipe out more of us than another race, even though you don't want to get down to a race.
But then I saw something that those stats are not necessarily right.
I don't know. I guess the point of what I'm saying is that
it could be media propaganda to put fear again in black people to say that they're going to wipe us out.
That's what I'm saying. The race don't have nothing to do with it. The race don't have anything to do with it. It really come down to a humanity thing. And sorry for one second. The next thing I'm going to feel like, so that's the first point, that the race don't matter. And the second point I think is that most times, if you look at humanity, when crisis take way, we try to find a quick way out, but we don't really learn the long-term lessons to make change, behavioral change. And right now, everybody looking for a vaccine to get this thing out. Nobody not thinking about what fundamental changes we have to make sure something like this don't happen again, or prepare for if it comes again. And I think what will be sad out of all of COVID-19 is if we don't learn, and a bigger one come in 5 years. I think
the bigger one is made in 5 years.
But we're not prepared as a species.
I think we need to be, instead of talking about COVID, we need to be giving more ways of what we eat, how we live. Because COVID is good and bad. COVID has made the planet a lot cleaner now.
Right.
You know, because we've been destroying the planet with travel,
Right.
with planes, with cars, with everything. It's just us. So, you know, things are a lot cleaner now.
Yeah.
Families are becoming more of one and communicating, whereas some are not.
Right.
It's a lot of domestic violence that is happening as well at the same time. But I just think that we need to be educating. We as a people, we eat better anyway. We naturally eat better. So it's to get that trajectory out to everybody of what to eat, what to do,
But
how
that's for me. I mean, for me, the first thing when we get out of this coronavirus thing is when them say, okay, social distancing won't work for me because I'm already a distant person. But when them say, wash your hands, I'm like, so the world need a virus.
No, some people nasty, yo.
You need a coronavirus to hit the world before you know say you need to wash your hands.
Nasty.
That's what I'm saying. And so what you saying, after corona gone, you're going to stop washing your hands?
But there's people
that's my point,
I've been a victim of like eating and not washing my hands afterwards because I'm driving or whatever. There's certain little things. So it's just like it's bringing you back full circle again.
Right.
It's bringing you back full circle.
It's weird still now because sometimes I wonder. Sometimes like I tend to keep quiet on things, you know, because like I see things so differently more times. It's unpopular at times, but like when you check it, how does one really know what is good or what is bad for them? We everybody, every human, and if there are other beings out here, them operate the same way. Everybody can only operate based on them current state of knowledge, you know. So you don't really you don't really know what you're doing. Because who is to because in 6 years you're going to hear say you use too much soap, don't wash your hands so much. You know, so like they're everything ebb and flow. Right. You know what I mean? 1 year you hear say you must live your life and don't eat no carbs if you want to lose weight. Then the next year you hear say boy, you know, you need a little bit of carbs. Then the next year you hear say go keto, and then you hear go paleo.
But isn't that? But again, you don't really know. Brethren, that's my thing is. That's not for everybody. Because we are all different species. So even though it's about humanity, we as black people are not the same as white people, are not the same as Indians. Because yoga is not for me.
Yeah, but
I'm an African.
I would say even...
I'm an African, I'm not an Indian. No. I can't... Certain yoga is made for Indians. It's not really made for a person... But Indian is a black man. But Indian is not... I mean, we all come from one. Hamara Bharata. Right, no. We all come from one place, but we are still different. I
would say the solution to that is coming down to yourself, understanding yourself and what works for you. Because black yoga can work for some black people and don't work for other black people. We in ourselves.
Veganism to me is not for
everybody.
It's not. I don't believe in no meat diet.
Right.
I don't believe in that.
Right.
I believe in moderation.
Right.
Sometimes you don't need it, sometimes you need it.
Balance is the key.
I don't believe that everything that they're telling you or what they're feeding you right now is for black people.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Or it's for, you understand me?
Yeah, but I feel say me
when I'm trying to get away from.
When you get a whole heap of information, the only way you will know what is right, just like if you read in the Bible, is in the terms of the Bible, you pray and ask
depending if you're Christian.
Whatever you're reading, whether it's a book about Nancy Drew or whatever,
right.
You in yourself have to ask for discernment, and you have to look in yourself, know how to sift through what people telling you by words, and you have to know what to take away. You have to look in the mirror and know what is right for you and be honest with you. If you drink too much, you can look in the mirror. You don't need no online nothing to tell you. You can look in the mirror and say, I drink too much. You can look in the mirror and say, you know, so I hear this keto thing, but me need liquor carbs. So when next year later, when them come and say you need liquor carbs, you didn't know that because God tell you that in yourself. And that is part of what Craig says is happening when people self know. You find in yourself and find the truth of the world is in you, you know. It's in your DNA, you know. Everything what you need to know about the world is inside you. If you read it, sit down and dig deep into your inner knowledge. You know what I mean? It's in your DNA.
And the next thing about that is when you come face to face with it, you have to be real enough to accept it.
Right.
At the same time, there's two things. Old time yardie, you will hear old time Jamaicans say a thing, say what for drown can't hang. And it's a real thing. If it's COVID-19 to take you, it's gonna take you. You know, and if it's not, then it won't. And the next thing is, I don't know if anybody ever see that thing with them take the earth and then them show you the earth in respect to the sun in size, and then them show you the sun in respect to the bigger stars and the bigger stars, and then you do the galaxies and then the universe, and then it's like we are so small and insignificant.
Right. It's just minute to what's going on.
It's like for us to think, all right, let me give you a scenario, and understand that when I say these things, it's just to open your mind a little bit, to accept a little more, because Christians talk all the time, but a lot of the times when them talk nowadays, it's like I don't listen, because a Christian must be willing to accept that God's will is God's will.
Inshallah.
And that you don't you praying for something different. It cannot be right. It must be coming from a selfish place, because at the end of the day, God must know. If that is what you believe in, then you should believe that He knows what is best for you. So, what if this whole thing that is happening is the world just taking back
its course,
its thing? You know, it's for its space. It's like at the end of the day, Mother Nature needs certain space in order for the world to continue. Maybe just take it back. And who the fuck are we to say, no, you take too much? Like we've been taking for a long time. So that's what, like you have to live your life, and you have to live your life to try to keep your footprint as small as possible, and not do things to disorient the things around you too much. But at the end of the day, you have to realize that what is happening, you don't necessarily need to have any control over, but just ride the wave. You know, it's hard.
But that's what life is about. It's about. Yeah. I mean, when a person prays, they're supposed to pray for whatever they're praying for, but also they're willing to accept the will of God. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why I like the Muslim saying, Inshallah, at God's will.
I said that on my title track for the album, Holy Temple. I say, Inshallah, you know.
How much time I see people sit down over a loved one and I pray for them door dead, and the loved one that they can't talk, and them I pray for them.
Right.
So.
Hey.
Yeah.
You know. Hey.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, still, I mean, it's easier said than done until it's in your situation too. Because I know someone was saying about a friend who her mom got sick in New York with the COVID, and in no time she ended up in the hospital. She can't go visit her mom in the hospital. Then the mother died. She can't have a funeral.
She can't get the ashes out.
A family member of mine passed away in the UK, and only 5 people could go to the funeral.
So
and
it's crazy.
It was just
like,
heartbreaking.
These are things that you see in movie and think is just a movie, and it's people living it. So, you know, it's contextual for everybody.
The wicked man.
You know, contextual. But at the end of the day, I just hope that for all that loss that people have and that pain, you need to make it worth something. So you have to learn from the situation. And I hope that we learn to... what you're saying is that the carbon footprint alone has, in just 1 month or 2 months, the reduction
Can
of
you
that.
Imagine?
So, but people are more concerned about the 3% dip in the economy. You know what I mean? But let's try and put a value on that carbon footprint, that dip, and what that means for the world and what that means for our sustainability in this world.
Because we were just complaining that we can't breathe, and then the air is bad and everything like that, like a year ago.
Right.
And now people can, but what?
It's a give and take.
All animals are in this certain type of mammals, and everybody are in the sea now, and you're seeing them come up.
Yeah, but I mean, for me, no, I am guilty of that carbon footprint, because my, 2 of my kids are in Berlin, and literally every month, 1 month I'm in Jamaica, next month I'm in Berlin, and back and forth. So the lack of travel for me personally has an impact on me, and I'm sure for other people, business.
So why don't you just have the kids here for 6 months of the year, and then
this is what I'm saying. This is actually creating. I mean, they have done 6 years. Yeah, they do 6 months here, them do schooling here, and then them go back there and then come back. But some of the time, with German system, once them start a certain level of prep school, them can't really come out. You get fined as a parent, so them have to really stay there, you know what I mean? Or just transfer and decide I'm transferring, but you can't be back and forth.
Wow.
It's not like us where you could do a year here and then say go in Miami for a year or whatever, you know?
See to 2 free.
Yeah. But there's pros and cons because our system here have way more, you know, my son here is doing in school and internet virtual and nothing to stop. You know what I mean? German system is more roots kind of vibe. So them don't really have that infrastructure going on, you know what I mean? So there's pros and cons. But as a global person with a British passport, traveling is definitely a big part of my life. But you have to just make that sacrifice for Mother Nature, you know what I mean? Because the truth is 200 years ago, there wasn't even a plane. I used to have to just live your life where you was living. So we can't overdo the plane thing and at the cost of the planet, you know?
Yeah. So what is the final? We're going to kind of end it out now. What future? All right, think beyond like, okay, we don't have COVID right now, but what is the latest thing that's going to be happening with you, Craigy, and with you music-wise or other business-wise or whatever?
Well, so in the whole music setting right now, I just have dropped some singles and build back a vibe. I did an album called Holy Temple.
Yes.
And it was really a spiritual journey. I think it was a little different from what a quote-unquote Bassy fan from T.O.K would expect. And that was deliberate because I wanted to go as wide as possible creatively before I zone back into the predictable Bassy on a dance. Really, I'm talking about girls whining kind of concept, you know. But no, I'm back there, you know. For 2020, I really want to work on a full album. It's coming. It's gonna be called King Bass. It's the first time I'm announcing it.
I get exclusive.
So King Bass is coming, and it's really just Bassy, just being the bass voice on different beats and just flowing and spitting and playing with that. So since the year started, I've just dropped a lot of singles to build up that vibe. And the current single I have on now is Muevelo, produced by Walshy Fire and Tribal Push. Yeah, it's nice. I have the Muevelo. I know you know to challenge them, but for the girls them, we have a Muevelo challenge right now. We have a cash prize and what we might do is take all the clips.
And this is on Instagram?
On Instagram.
Okay.
We might afterwards put all the clips together in a music video. Virtual video since where I work now, but that's out, and I have a nice one with Left Side as well called Bring It On.
I haven't heard from Left Side in a while.
Nice. So let's drop something. Also, Muevelo kind of make me talk to the Spanish market, and I really want to engage them more for this 2020. So just dropping music. Also producing more now. I have a single dropping with Taurus Riley and Iwayne called Mad Scientist.
Nice.
It's talking specifically about the whole vibe now, but it's so interesting because I did it a few years ago.
I've never thought you could get Iwayne and Taurus together.
It was a nice vibe. Yeah, so Mad Scientist coming out in a few weeks from Bombrush Records. And there's more music coming and the vibes is there, you know. Creatively, I'm in a very good space, and we have tracks making for the album. The first album never have no feature. This album we have bare feature. You know what I mean?
So Craigy T on it?
Well, for me, Craig, after that on my album, just like how me up on Craig album, you know what I mean? But it wasn't that first album was just me and my spirituality. Right. But yeah, album that have features for sure. I would want Craig and the lyricists and singers, and you know, I might even ask each of the members of T.O.K to be somewhere else. But to be in their own space. So it's me and Craig that's do our DJ thing, and me and Alex do whatever. We're still in the creative process. Our only feature out so far is Christopher Martin. Okay. I have a nice track with him, produced by Ranigan. Yeah. So yeah, we was working on that, and people can look out for more on the Bassy music at Instagram.
The Bassy. All right.
For me, no. Boy, I don't know. When you talk to, you see, the thing is, me in this virtual space, I kind of find it difficult because I like looking into people's eyes. And speaking one-on-one, but like really and truly, like where I am now is very inside. Like I'm really doing a lot of introspection now, kind of trying to figure out the best way to fit in at the end of this thing, because the difference with me and everybody else is that I'm not resistant to change at all. I accept it willingly. So it's to really see and kind of feel where music are gonna end up, because like from ever since I never really believe in genres. I believe that music is one music and everything is joined. So like it kind of have some EDM tracks to come out. We just released a song called Cease and Settle. Is a collaboration with myself and Ben Barbic, produced by Ian Young. Big up yourself, General. And we'll have some more music together to come out as well. I also just did an album with DJ Buddha titled One, that is to be released as well. But as far as after the whole COVID crisis is concerned, like I don't know where music will be. So I don't know what I am going to want to say in that time, because it could be a revolutionary time. I'm gonna feel like get upset at things that happening and decide for carry my music there. It could be a time where the focus should be on unification and solidarity, and I could put my music there. It could be a time where people just are happy that the crisis is over and want to celebrate, and I might put my music there, because in any one of those directions the voice has a space. Right. So I mean it's difficult to say right now, because we're on the cusp of a huge change. I don't have any challenges out. There's a little part of me that kind of wishes I did, but I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna do it. Just
the only challenge I have to do is 50 push-ups a day.
That's easy, man. But don't murder a challenge.
Back on that again.
Them someone must do the body 16 bars. So I shot a 16 bar the other day and put it up.
Let me hear it now.
And shut up the people. Nah, that was I don't remember that.
I like that one, but like, come give me a little 1 bar, 3 bar now.
I'm gonna read that. I don't even know if I have it on my phone.
It's on the Instagram.
It's up on IG. My IG name is Craigy T.O.K. You know,
we finished the bottle.
Yes.
So the bottle done. The bottle done. My drink's done. My brothers, thank you so much for just
my pleasure
gracing me with your presence for the first visual reasonings.
Yeah, man.
And we're going to do a lot more reasonings a little later. I'm your host, Odessa. Linkage Laters. Peace.
Mad thing.
Hey, don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at OAccess Jamaica.